Hi, welcome to this Tao Yin class. This will be a bit yin-yang, so it's not completely yin, so we'll have a nice balance here of movement and relaxation. And let's get started. We're going to start just coming to home in our breath, just placing hands on your body somewhere to become more aware of how you're breathing, noticing the quality of your breath, and just journeying inside. Close your eyes, and let's just take a minute to tune in. Tune in to where your body is today. Allow the breath to expand. Perhaps to breathe a bit slower. As we feel the soles of our feet connecting to the earth, through the mat, through the floor. And let the shoulders relax, the jaw relaxes. Preparing the body and the mind now to jump into some Tao Yin. Let's take 2 more breaths. And then slowly open your eyes, relax the arms down, and we're going to begin with a move that's called the arrow. So I'd like you to clasp your hands, the 4 fingers come up like a teepee, and we're just going to stretch all the way up with a bit of a back bend, stretching up the whole torso, and then we're going to take the hands to the back of the head as we squat down. So once more, I'll show you from the side, coming up with a slight back bend. Then the hands come to the back of the head as we squat down, exhaling. So inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Filling the lungs and then releasing down. Nice gentle movements, awakening both the upper and lower body. And doing movements that are appropriate for your body. You don't have to squat so deeply or stretch so high. When you do stretch, just make sure the shoulders are still relaxed, if they're not coming up to your ears. And that you feel comfortable in the squat with your knees. The knees should not be going over the toes when you're squatting. Let's do 2 more of these. Just building a bit of warmth. This is the yang part of the exercise. And let's come back to neutral. And now we're going to come to what's called the bubbling springs. The bubbling springs is a point on the ball of our foot right in the middle. This is kidney 1. This is the first point for the kidneys. And so we're going to do a bit of massage here when we come up on the toes, extending the hands and the arms up, shoulders away from the ears. And this just creates a bit of pressure on kidney 1. And let's just breathe here, keeping your balance, relaxing the shoulders down, drinking in the air. And then release down. So we're going to take a side stretch. Imagining that you're between 2 panes of glass, that the stretch goes directly over the side. Inhaling and exhaling to the side body, and then coming up through the middle, and then over to the other side. Keeping strong in the abdomen, so don't collapse the abs. We're bending right over the rib cage. And I'll go only so far that you can really breathe, yeah? So if you go too far and you have problems breathing, come back a bit. Maybe here is a good stretch. And then let's come back to middle and release. I'm going to take some arm and neck stretches. So just feel like you're pushing away at the wall. And then take the head and neck over to one side as we take small circles with the chin. The elbows are slightly bent. So we're not stretching all the way through the arms, just leave a bit of room for the energy to flow through the arms, circulation to flow through the arms. And then let's take the head slowly over to the other side, making small circles with the chin, opening the whole neck and arms. And close your eyes and feel if there's a bit of kinks somewhere, or maybe some places that don't feel so good. Take a bit of extra time there. So come back to the middle. And now we're going to change the hands. Let's point the fingers to the back of the room. And let's do the same thing. This time maybe take big circles. I'm only going as far back with the neck that feels comfortable for you. Nice slow breaths. Relaxing and releasing any tension you might be feeling in the upper back and neck area. Now let's go in the other direction. And coming back to middle, we're going to take the hands in the last direction. Let's point them forward. Again with a little bend in the elbows. And let's take big circles once again. And don't forget to relax your back, your pelvis down to the floor, releasing any tension not only in the neck and shoulders, but also the entire body. And let's take one more circle in this direction, and then we can finally put the arms down. I know they're screaming a bit. Let's take a bit of shoulder rolls. Back. And then forward. That's good. And then we're going to do something that opens up all the joints in the body. It's called teacups, or you can call it so swirls, or we're doing like swirling movements with the hands and the arms and the hips. So I think it's easiest to start with the fingers facing the belly button, palms up, and they're always going to be face up during the whole exercise. So the knees are slightly bent, and I'm going to come up and over, and then over to the other side as my hips are going in the opposite direction as my hands, and then coming back to the center and repeating, going off to one side first. You can mirror me. Fingertips point into the belly, and then going off to the other side. I'll show you from the side view. This one's a bit tricky at first, but once you get the hang of it, it's not that hard. And it's something that opens up all the joints in the entire body. And I'll show you from the back, which is maybe a bit easier to follow along. And don't forget, we're moving the hips a bit. We have a bit of a weight change as we move from side to side. Hands are always going in the opposite direction as the hips. And so I'm going to come back to center, and then we're going to do the other side. So I believe I went off to my left the last time, so now we're going off to my right, which will be your left. And then once you get the hang of it, you can do it at a bit faster tempo, really feeling the wrists, the elbows, the shoulders, the back, everything. It really gets everything. And then let's just do one more. And then relaxing the arms down. And let's just do one more for the shoulders. That's called oiling the joints or silk breathing. And this time we're just going to take our shoulder down, shake out the whole arm, and then bring the shoulder back. So making big circles with the shoulder, going back, releasing the whole arm. The arm should feel just like dead weight, like it weighs a ton. Yeah? We don't even want to. We're moving just the shoulder complex. And let's just quickly move to the other side, again shaking out the arm. And then rotating the shoulder back. Oiling the rotator cuff. Arm is heavy. Just making circles with the shoulder. Let's do one more. And coming back to neutral. So let's do a movement now that's called Moon Over the Lake. We'll go a bit into the yin side. And I'd like you to take palms down and imagine that we're in the mountains somewhere in a calm, peaceful lake. And we see the moon shining over the lake. And here, with our fingertips, we're just conjuring this image of a smooth, crystal clear lake. You might want to take your feet a bit further apart just to have a bit more ground and balance here. And close your eyes and just imagine this scene. Maybe from somewhere you've been before, or it can be a fantasy. Just a clear, calm lake reflecting the moon. And this is how our mind and thoughts should be. Calm and clear. And now with our next inhale, we're going to move up towards the moon. The hands come up. Coming towards the center, we make a circle with our hands representing the moon as they come down. Exhaling and then inhaling. Breathing in this cool, calm air. Imagining once again this calm energy. Absorbing that into our energy. And exhaling as we come to the center. Let's do one more to this side. And then we're going to move to the other side. Again, conjuring this image, smooth water. Coming up to the other side. Relaxing the shoulders as we come up. Again, the energy is moving us, so there's no aggressive movements here. It's all yin. It's all relaxed, all soft energy. Inhaling and exhaling. Let's do one more. Coming to the center and the palms facing the body. So the energy trickles down. And now let's take a seat. When I come to a wide-legged position, if you'd like, you can sit on something to raise up the pelvis. That might help to get a bit more extension in the spine. This movement is called Seaweed in the Ocean. And so for a minute, let's just come forward as far as comfortable is for you as we stretch the inner thigh and the low back. Just taking a few breaths here. You can allow the head to drop if that's comfortable for you. And then we're going to start flowing, we're going to start pulsing. And it starts Like this, we're just going to raise one hand and then the other hand. So gently, the bit of a back stretch and side stretch, moving gently from one side to the other. You can breathe at your own pace. You can also synchronize the breath if you'd like. And then allow the movements to get bigger. I'm inhaling as I raise the arms. And every time it comes a bit higher, so come into more and more of a side stretch. Until we're going to come off to one side and then hold the stretch. So extending the arms even more. As the elbow comes into the knee of the same leg. And then the next time, let's hold the stretch. Taking the elbow to the knee if you can, and then taking the other arm either over or to the back. You can also take your elbow and then support your head. And let's just take a few breaths here. Just dropping into the stretch. Releasing any holding. Breathing into the low back. And then let's release. As we come off to the other side, again coming back to these nice flowing movements. And then the next time you come over to the opposite side, let's take the elbow to the knee if that's comfortable for you. You can take the hand either over and stay here, or to your back. And you can also hold your forehead in your hand. As we stretch here, and just allow everything to release. Breathing. And with your next inhale, let's come back up to center. We're going to keep this position as we go into the next one. And here we're directing the energy into the inside of the legs. There's the spleen meridian comes up through the inside of the legs, as does part of the stomach meridian. So we're going to take an inhale and then exhale this energy down one of the legs. Inhale, coming up to the collarbones, and then exhale. Closing your eyes, coming into the body, coming into awareness in the body. Is there any tension that you can release? Anywhere that you feel blocked? Just breathe through that. The breath will open you up. Let's take one more. And then let's come to the other side. And let's inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And this time, let's fall over the leg. This time, my torso is pointed towards my knee. The last time I was side. This time I'm facing. So it's a bit different stretch. Again, sinking in, sinking the bones into the ground, relaxing your arms. And you can also allow your head to just drop. Just taking 2 breaths here before we go to the other side. And then come up as we take the yin stretch to the opposite side. Coming down, you can place your hands on your shin, on your knee, wherever's comfortable. You can allow your head to drop, just be supported by your hands. Again, here the torso is pointed towards the knee. And just taking another breath. And as we come back up to neutral, and then we're going to take our feet into what looks, I always call it like a fan, or I guess you can call it like a flower, like the flower petals. There's 2 triangles here I'm making with my legs. And the front leg, I'll take this arm and hand, and I'm going to lean back. And the other arm that's connected to the back leg, I'm going to take into a twist. So I'm actually lifting off of this hip, is lifting off the ground, and I'm just twisting. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Nice, slow, controlled movements. Let's take one more to this side, and then we're going to hold the stretch. Breathing into the low back, breathing into the twist. If it feels comfortable, you can turn your head over the back shoulder to go more into the twist. And then let's come back to center. And let's go to the other side, so that I'm moving my legs in the other direction. Like see maybe from the side how it is. And then once again, I'm leaning back on the front leg. That arm is leaning back, and I'm going to take the twist over to the other side. Coming always back through the center and stretching, twisting. And here, my hip is coming off the ground. Nice, easy breaths. And then let's take 2 more to the side before we hold it. And again, holding the stretch. I still have a bit of a bend in my front elbow here, as well as the back elbow. And then if you'd like, you can turn your chin, your neck, head over the back shoulder, if that feels good. And breathing here. And releasing and coming back to the middle. Now we're going to come into Dandasana. And we're going to do a move that's a snake move. So I'd like you to take your hands, palms facing out, spine long, and we're going to be twisting from side to side. So with an exhale, you're going to take your hands to one side as the hips come off of the ground, and almost like a push-up, nose to the floor, coming back to the center, and let's go off to the other side. This is a really great exercise for the low back. Again, go at your own pace. I'll show you from the front. Just breathing at your own pace from side to side. It might be helpful to exhale as the nose comes to the floor, and inhale as you come through center. Let's just take one more to each side. And then we're going to conclude this practice with something that's called turning the wheel. And this is something that you see throughout much of Qigong and Chinese medicine. This is taking the energy and moving it in circles. So we're taking the energy from in this exercise from the feet and moving it all the way up the spine to the head and then back down again. So let's do this. We're going to exhale as we come as far towards the toes as you can. It might only be here, it doesn't really matter. And then inhaling as the arms come up, stretching up, and then coming down. So it's a flowing movement. Drawing the energy from the soles of the feet all the way up the legs, up the torso, up the spine, extending the spine long, crown long, and then folding forward. I'll show you from the side. Coming up, extending the spine, the crown of the head, and then falling forward at the hips. You may also bend your knees if you have a bit more flexibility in the back this way. It's a nice flow to incorporate everything we've done in the practice until now. Let's do two more. Sending the energy up, the hands come up, shoulders relax, and then release. You may want to come now down to a Shavasana, just to soak in what we've done. Or you can come up and do a meditation, or you can get on your day. And I'd like to thank you for sharing this practice with me.